welcome again to Young at Heart. I'm Tammy Murray, the Director of Elder Affairs for the town of Kingston. And I'm here today with Gretchen Emmetts, who's the Assistant Director at the Council on Aging, and Marilyn Greenstein, who is our Marketing Coordinator. As many of you know, this is going to be my last show, so I was saddened by that when I was driving over. However, we've just talked Gretchen into taking over the show until or forever, or if the new director wants to do the show, whatever. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
I've never had you on before. And I guess what I wanted to do, or to make this show more about, was where we were when I got here, what we became while I was here, and where you guys want to go once I'm gone. And I think a big part of what changed with the Council on Aging, and what I want to continue to get the message out about, because I do still live in the town, is that it went from being, you know, the typical, like we say, your grandmother's COA, the typical, you know, have some lunch, play some cards, whatever, to so much more than that. We've built it into quite an empire, I think. So I don't know, Marilyn, maybe you can start just talking about pieces with the marketing aspect and the nights.
Sure. Well, you know, it's no longer your grandmother's or your mother's, even your mother's senior center, and I've written about that a lot as part of my job. But it's grown into so many things, so many facets, because we have younger baby boomers coming. I mean, with Tammy, we created this author series that became so large, we never thought it would get that big. Mm-hmm. We've had people, as many as 220 people come to an author event. And we've also had, you know, people as little as 50, but it's been great. And so with that, and a focus on health and fitness, health and wellness, I should say, lifelong learning, we really have come very far. I mean, there's so many more people coming to the senior center than ever before. And they're not just coming for bingo or lunch. They really are coming for
Not
fitness.
that there's anything wrong with bingo.
No, nothing wrong with bingo. You're welcome anytime.
But I did, I don't mean to cut you off, but I did meet with a woman recently. I met her for coffee, and she's probably, I don't even want to say her age because I could be wrong, but I'm going to say upper 50s, maybe early 60s. And she still works, and her concern was, well, what's going to be there for me? What can we build that I can enjoy when I get to that age? And a large part of what I tried to do was to focus on people like my age, which, you know, you get your AARP card at 50, you're in some places considered a senior at 55, you know, well, I'm 47, so it's time to start making that bed, you know? And I think focusing on groups like that, as we did with the Girl Scouts and the cheerleaders.
Absolutely, we still are.
Yeah, brings in, and even the veterans and having the special breakfasts, things like that.
We're very well related with the Veterans Office. It's wonderful.
Well, it's a good combination of having the community at large come in, whether it's the Girl Scouts or the cheerleaders or somebody like that, and having all the people in town feel welcome. The building is really open to anybody. It's a public building, so you can come there for anything you want. But people are now starting to see that, you know, it's not a place just for people who are older. It's for baby boomers and people even younger. I've seen students, teenagers come to author nights, you know, and that's very impressive.
Yeah, it really is a life center. I mean, it's you learn independence, you make friends, and you get some really good energy off our center. It's amazing over the past couple of years how it's really transitioned.
It's not only just transitioned. I think it's like there's a turning point. We've come around the corner. I mean, even now we're planning for events in the fall of 2017. And what about 2018? I'm booking authors for 2018. So a lot of what I do has to happen way in advance. But we've just, you know, we do write a lot of grants. I'm involved in the grant writing. We've been able to get great money from MCOA. We've been able to secure Jane Killinger, who lives in town, who's come to help us, and formed a nonprofit group called the Advocates for the Kingston Council on Aging. So we can get more grants, more money. And I think that says it all, because we're not spending the town's money. We're spending grant money.
Right, and I think it's important when you mention that, just how much we do that maybe the general population doesn't see us doing.
Right.
You know, like they don't see me on my emails when I'm on vacation or taping a show. You know, they don't
Absolutely.
see the meetings that you have or when you're on the road doing a home visit. So it's like, I would think if there's one thing that I looked back on and regretted about the journey was maybe I could have tried harder to express what we did on a daily basis, so that people felt more comfortable. But you're right, a lot of the money that we do spend is either reimbursements or grants, and I thank
Right.
you for helping me with those
Oh,
grants.
you're welcome.
That took a little off my plate to step in for when we lost the outreach person. You know, so all of that kind of combines into what we've grown. But I mean, I used to say when we were looking for the assistant position, and you know, we're a triangle. You know,
Yeah.
now you guys are gonna have to find a new third piece, but you know, third time a dozen.
As sad as I am about your leaving, I'm really glad you left at a time when we did a lot. We have a lot to, you know, to move on to. And
focus on
I
and-
think, I mean, excuse me, Gretchen can speak to this. You know, we're not planning on stopping. We're gonna
We're not.
keep moving.
I have an active week of senior camp coming up for the first week of from the 7th to the 11th, and every day is chock full with events, crafts, and even on Friday we're wrapping up with a mindfulness class and a campfire sing-along with a singer, and we're making s'mores. We're going to do the whole thing, and we have people signed up for it. It's amazing. They want to do things. They just don't always know what they want to be offered, so we give them a whole bunch of different things to choose from. It's amazing.
Once those offerings happened, then they realized what they wanted to do.
Absolutely.
This Thursday we have an evening called Summertime Coffee Cafe, and we have music from a guy named Scratch Murphy. He's going to sing music from the 60s and 70s. We're going to have coffee, of course, and appetizers and all that. I thought we'd get 30 people. We have almost 70 people coming.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Yep.
It's free.
And that's something you'll be able to do time and time again coming in the future. So if this show
Yeah,
didn't air in time, then there'll still be something to look for.
Absolutely. Since this has already gone so well, I can see the wheels turning in Maryland, which is good. We're always thinking, we're always going forward. I added another trip for, you know, the seniors, and it's not all seniors that go on the
No.
trips. You know, we're going to Atlantic City for 2
Oh,
nights.
right.
For 2 nights. So I'm sure that will be an interesting trip, but just things there at the center. We booked another brownie troupe
Yeah.
for all through next year. We have Kingston Community Fund Group, which is the library, ourselves, and the rec department, all doing different programs that are going amazingly well. Be it Book Pazingo, the field trip on the school bus to the Museum of Science. There's just a lot going on, and we're moving
Barn
forward.
babies, don't forget barn
Babies,
Barn
yes.
babies.
Baby goats in diapers. So there's just so much going on that is for everyone.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight the point that we have opened the door with other departments in town so
I
that
was
we're
just
all
about
kind
to
of working
think- I was thinking that,
cohesively
yeah.
together, which in the very beginning, it wasn't that it was a struggle, but I think when we started having those meetings, probably within the first couple months that I had arrived, it was like, okay, we all know we want to work together, but how do we do this? Because we all overlapped in what we were doing or trying to do. So figuring it out and getting something to work so fluidly has been excellent.
Yes, it's working quite well now, and we're all willing to give each other a hand, and other events too that maybe, you know, we weren't originally involved in.
And there are some key partnerships, I mean, from the community. We work closely with the library, as everybody knows, to do the author series. And we have this fabulous fitness class called Shake Your Soul, which is amazing. We get a very good turnout. And it was gifted to us from the South Shore Conservatory in Duxbury.
Yeah, more than once.
More than once, more than once. And people say they'd like to have it every day. Well, so would we, but
So would
you
we.
know, the cash register rings. But I think that we will continue to have more, because we're setting up new, more innovative fitness classes for people. They just don't have to come and take high-end aerobics or Zumba or anything like that. There's other things they can do without jumping a high or laying on the floor.
Starting in September, we're starting chair yoga. I mean, chair
Chair
Zumba.
Zumba.
Chair Zumba with Deb Rafferty, and that's going to be every Tuesday at 11. And that's fabulous for people who say, well, I may not be able to do the Zumba Gold, but you can do this.
Yeah, this will be much easier for
And
them.
it's fun. So it not only is it good for your body, it's good for your soul.
Well, I'll tell you, I went to a concert last night, surprise. But they played Led Zeppelin, they played Foreigner, they played Cheap Trick, and I would say that maybe 75% of the crowd would be in the senior baby boomer category.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
There's a lot of baby
and I
boomers out
wonder
there.
how much the music is going to play into where we go in the future.
Well, I think this coffee cafe, the tone of it, because the music is the 60s and 70s, we're getting a lot more baby boomers. And, you know, baby boomers need more than some of the basic stuff that we've had. I mean, we always have services, but they want to do things that pertain to their age, their
Right.
generation. And I think we're doing that. I think that every senior center should be doing it.
I agree.
And,
I keep laughing that seniors do drive at night.
Yeah.
You know, not all seniors. And if maybe perhaps one doesn't, their friend will.
That's
you know,
right.
I know one of the ways I got my mom to start coming was to have her teach the knitting, and then it turned into crafting, and now she drives people to a breakfast on Sundays, because Sundays are another key time when the seniors really, if they don't have family around, are alone. So,
Yeah, that goes to the point of me like once every other month or so wanting to do a Sunday family dinner there for anyone who
Yeah.
maybe doesn't have a place to go.
yeah.
And Sunday's an important
you know, it's something
day.
to look forward to,
Yeah.
and try and plan.
But
But
Sunday's a key day, especially for people who are alone.
yes,
I mean, I think it's like the turn of the weekend, and I've always found that. But I think having something like that, and more weekend stuff if we could have it. But I think the plans are endless.
we have all these great plans. We just only have so many hours that we can fill up. And that's like when she said, "Oh, we'd like to have Shake Your Soul every day." We don't have room for Shake Your
Right.
Soul every day.
We don't have money either.
But even that, we don't have time slots available because we're so busy with all the different exercise classes, the art, the quilting, the cards. I can go on. It really is something that is just growing. Even on Friday, they're playing left, right, center now in the grand room, and
What
all
is
you
that?
hear is
The dice game.
It's a dice
Oh,
game,
that's right.
and all you hear
Is
is
laughter.
laughter
For
And
about an
it's-
hour. It's great.
like it's kind of like being at a kid's school because it's so infectious. They're just laughing deep from their belly, and that's good for them. You know, they're getting out and they're
I
doing
think
things.
Yeah, I think that everything is good about all this, and I think the community out there should know that. They
Yeah,
should
and that was gonna
really
be-
come over. Anybody can come over. There are people who walk in off the street who have never been in the building, and we show them around and show them the schedule, and they're in awe. They never knew it happened.
Right.
You know, they
right.
were surprised and delighted at same
And that was
time.
one of the first reasons that we opened on Monday nights when I first started, was to get people, because honestly, you're over 60. I think I'm not lying
Yeah.
when I say that. Don't tell anyone. But you still work.
Yeah.
So where can you go during the day while you're still working? You can't.
Yeah,
You
we have
can't-
to open it up.
Yeah,
We
so
have- yeah.
that was one of the big proponents, was to be there to answer questions about fuel assistance, to, you know, just give people tours who might have been shy to come in during the day, or, you know, I couldn't get my mom there, so I had to wait till after work to bring her, those kinds of things. And I think it's so important that people know that the services are still available. So I know something that had come up a few months ago was that the services that we use aren't open after 5 o'clock. And, you know, fuel assistance is on paper, food stamps is on the internet. Elders at Risk are open
Absolutely.
24 hours a
Yeah,
day.
that's right.
So there are things that we can do after the 5 o'clock hour. And I think one of my friends had said, social service work doesn't have a set schedule. So it
Doesn't.
could be at any time that things can happen. Someone that we didn't mention that I do want to mention is the fire department. We've worked very closely with the fire department. They're going to start having someone come in on Thursdays and do blood pressures and things like that. Pass out the fridge cards that I located in my office. Things like that to keep.
I think I saw
in
those
front
cards
of-
on my.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I put them in yours.
Is that right?
And that's something we need to go forward with, and it actually, I would love for the police department, the COA, the fire department, the health department to form a group like we formed with the library and the rec department to become one cohesive group. That there's so many services out there that people don't know about, and there's so much to learn from. I just had someone from the Board of Health come on the Greater Brockton Hoarding Task Force. So he's going to join that with me. So other people in town know how to deal with situations maybe you wouldn't think you could deal with.
Right.
And I don't want to forget one other relationship we have and partnership, and that's with WATD Radio. They have been fabulous to us. They have helped us promote all our events, nighttime events mostly, and sometimes daytime. They've been kind to us. They've done it, all the promotion gratis. And I think that I can't say enough about that because that's a costly thing.
Yep.
And you can't get that really from
Absolutely.
anywhere. And now we do some, occasionally, and more than once a year, we do WATD Monday Night Talk live on in the studios here at Kingston, in our studio, in our hometown
Our senior
studio.
center.
Yeah, our senior center. But they come in and we have great shows and before a live audience. And I will say there's one coming up on the 31st. We have Casey Sherman. We have musician Brian Stratton. And we are going to talk about hoarding, that wonderful
We
topic
are.
that everybody, yeah. So it's going to be great, and anybody can come and sit in the live audience. It's free.
Yep, and that'll continue to happen in the future as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
We don't
so
like to stop.
partnership.
Yeah. If anybody thinks that things are going to stop,
Right.
they'll have to fight Gretchen and me because they're not.
Come do it in person, please. We're willing to talk to anyone. Our doors are open. Our hours are listed. Someone's always there to talk to someone.
Yeah, it's true. So that's something that I'd been thinking about, and actually I believe is going to be in the August newsletter, is like my final charge to people. Like, we all think that we do enough TV, we do enough radio, we're in the paper all the time. I mean, I don't know how many times I was on the front cover, but there's still people that don't know what we do or don't understand what we can help them with. How are you guys going to continue to push that out? And I think it's great that you're going to take over the show.
Absolutely.
Because that's one way, and then you
Yeah,
just
that will
share
be
the link and so
informative,
many
yeah.
people see it.
Yeah.
And it's great that PAC TV has always been very kind and gracious and sometimes patient with me when I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Or I have to check my hair and makeup.
All we need to do to go forward is just do what we were doing before. We were on almost a weekly basis making the newspaper for a different event that we did there, be it, the Senior Olympics or something with our volunteers or a dinner
Every
dance we may have
author,
done. Every author
Oh,
series.
yeah.
So any speaker we've had there, I was every week, I'm like, oh, look,
Here we are again.
here we are again.
What we've done so well is to create branding. So we have done that, and that will continue. I mean, it's not just the reporter. We've had stuff in the Clipper, the Duxbury Clipper. They've decided to take us on and advertise what we do and talk about what we do, or the Patriot Ledger and even the Boston Globe.
Yeah.
Authors go far, it is a broad expansion for getting news for the author series in probably every nook and cranny, every town. So the branding, and part of the branding actually is, I forgot to mention, is our new logo.
Yeah.
So we have a new it's not so new anymore, but I still call it our new logo.
Well, a lot of
revealed it a
people,
year ago,
they're
yeah.
still not used to it yet, but
Right.
It's
but
great. I love it.
It looks great, and it makes a statement. And before I got there, we didn't have any of those things, and because of Tammy's strength in getting things to happen, her leadership, we pushed it right through. So I'm happy about that.
I actually said that the other day to somebody. I'm like, I'm not the kind of person that can just hear about something and not do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna change it, or I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna push it through.
And you
It's
had to be
just kinda
careful
where I
with
come
asking.
And we have the same drive because we just, I think, really love our seniors, and it's just something that we need to carry on in the future.
I think some of the stuff that's been going on with the assistant director position, I mean, elephant in the room, hello, but you're not an elephant.
Thank
but,
you.
but I mean, it makes this kind of transition much easier because by
Absolutely.
design, your position is to act when the director isn't there.
Correct.
So it should be seamless. I mean, I'm not going to say you guys are going to be awesome because I'm not going to be there, but I have no doubt that we've built a team that's strong enough to
Right.
handle whatever comes up
our
next.
way.
or
There are a
whatever
lot of
idea
things
you
in
come up with
place. There are a
next.
lot of things in place that just will continue.
Yeah, the whole year's full, and
Oh, I know.
the wheels don't stop turning.
No.
So
Well, we meet and we have these discussions and we talk about what we're going to set up in the future. Of course, we have to be careful a lot of things because we need to raise money. And in order to raise money, we do depend a lot on Mass Council on Aging and other people. And we will be applying for grants. But I think it's really hard. You have all this in mind. And the goal is to have all classes, or most fitness classes, free. There are a lot of people who can't pay for them on an ongoing basis. And now what's happening is people are choosing to go to more than one class a week.
Yep.
They don't go to the same class.
absolutely,
Yeah.
there's 1 million seniors, I think, that go to senior centers every day, and
Yeah.
I would say 75% of our active seniors I see 2-3 times a week at least.
They're in there, and they're taking this class or that class. And that's not even to mention the wonderful painting class we have with Violet. I don't know her last name. But
Barry.
Violet Berry. She's wonderful. And if you walked in that room, you'd think these people were artists. They are artists. I shouldn't say think they are. They are artists. But they paint such wonderful, wonderful pictures, and they're all up on the wall. And people, they didn't even know it existed.
They didn't, or the quilt show.
The quilt,
The women
yeah.
who do the quilting. I mean, it's amazing, and they're in there every week, and it's not just for learning how to quilt. It's that is what they do.
They do. I heard somebody this morning who was in to do some quilting. It wasn't the regular class, but they were just in there. And when they were leaving, somebody said, "Hey, it was nice quilting with you." And it was really a nice thing to say.
And we should also mention the Friends store, which
Yeah.
has been
Absolutely.
really successful.
I
Very
personally-
successful.
It all just kind of happened in that we
That's
started to
right.
talk about it, and Tura's was getting rid of some stuff, so they gave us the case, and we got it
Yeah.
painted, and I mean, I
And I-
bought some great stuff. at
Yeah,
that
I
store.
personally,
I know they're gonna miss you.
I
Sales might
personally
plummet.
can't live without it.
There's a program I'm not gonna get.
But
Tammy's
it
gone.
is a wonderful store, and many people have asked me, "Where do you get this or where do you get
Yeah.
that?" And they come by. I mean, I think
Absolutely.
it's been run really well, and it's been very successful.
Yeah, Fran does an amazing job, and the Friends have been very generous for a lot of the programs
Yes,
that
they
we've
have.
done.
They have, and now we're working with them on different things that are happening. So, there's a lot of growth that's happening, but I think people get connected. When someone says it was nice quilting with you, usually it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And it was just so sweet. It was really sweet.
And then we have the South of Boston Quilts for Kids group that comes
in it.
twice a month on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And they are amazing because they make hundreds of quilts, and then they give them away. They don't even
Yeah.
Keep them, yeah.
You
Well, they
know,
do
Give
that
them
with
to
knitting, the
Edie.
hats.
Yep, the hats for knitting.
They were
they
just
do that as
working
well.
on the hats for one of the women in the group is getting some chemotherapy, and so they made hats and they're giving them to all her friends that are in chemo with her.
That's amazing, and that is a great group
Yeah.
that's grown so
Yeah.
large. I mean, I think they're up to 35 people.
Yeah, I think the one thing we all have learned is to give back. We do want people to give us things, and we're always asking, but giving back is really important.
Yeah, and that's what makes it a happy place. When
Mm-hmm.
you're giving back, you know, it's a good thing.
It is.
So I just got the 2-minute warning.
I
so
saw
I
that.
guess it's time. So anyway,
Hand me a tissue.
I know. Don't even start, you guys. I just want to thank everybody for the support that they gave me over the last few years, for watching the show as much as you do. Even those people that find it at like 2 in the morning as they're channel surfing and
That's
text
right.
me and say, "Hey, I just saw your show." But remember the goal that I had when I started here was to reach those people that we don't always reach. So it doesn't always have to be, you know, watch out for your neighbors when it's hot, watch out for your neighbors when it's snowing, watch out for your neighbors all the time. And know that there are many departments in the town that you can reach out to that can help them and get in front of any problems before they happen. So don't feel like if you mention something to the fire department about your neighbor that neighbor's going to lose their home or something. You could be making the first call in a long journey for getting that person help. And I wish you guys success.
Thank
You too. We're gonna miss you. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yes. We
I
can't
did it.
thank you enough.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off now that I'm crying. So thanks, everyone. Take care, and I'll miss you.